Hello. Wow. I am so excited about this live broadcast. First of all, I think I actually have my audio working better than last time. I hope so. It has been a battle for me. I'm just one generation too old to really get this stuff, and I'm trying. So pray for me. Okay. So this is an exciting live program today about WINS schools in India. And these are schools that are serving some of the poorest of the poor, but they are also serving some of the middle class people and kids that can afford to pay the fees. That is how these schools are self-sustaining. Okay, it is very important for schools to be self-sustaining, not to be dependent on outside funding. So if you're watching this and you want to know how to do sustainable schools in a developing nation that quite often is dependent on foreign funding, keep watching because you're going to hear from the principals of some of WIN's schools in northern India. Let me bring on our guests now. Welcome, Shivam and Shashi. Shivam is the principal, no, he's the manager of St. John's Convent School in Sultanpur, northern India. Welcome, Shivam.
Thank you, Win Global, to giving me opportunity to come on this platform, and thank you, Sister Liana, for inviting us. Thank you.
Yes, okay, we're so proud of you. And Sashi is the principal of Blue Haven School in Lucknow. Welcome, Sashi. Lean to your right.
Thank you, sister, for giving me that kind of opportunity. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're so proud of both of you that are running these two amazing schools, and we have another leader of our third school may be joining us a little later. I'm not sure he'll make it on, but we'll see. And but we have these two amazing leaders with us today. Shivam, you have been leading St. John's Convent School for how many years?
For the last 11 years that I'm leading St. John's School.
Wow, 11 years from the very beginning almost, right?
Yes. In the very beginning, the first day of the foundation of the school, I started
Yes.
run the school, and
Tell
that
us a little bit about how the school started. Of course, it was our key leader of Lucknow region, Alok, and his wife, Ricky. They were the key visionaries for St. John's School. And you can tell us just a little bit of the story of how it got started.
um, so in where the school is situated it is in the very rural area of the Uttar Pradesh, one district called Sultanpur, and it is school is a 30 almost 33 kilometers away from the city, and even today's situation, if someone wants to come from the city to that place, then if it is only 10-kilometer distance, they have to cover that distance by the private vehicle in 2 hours. So that much remote area that is school established. Uh, that was the Alok's dream. I think what I heard from him, his testimony about opening a school in 2009, when he was sharing that he wanted to open a school in that area. So I asked why he wants to open here in this village area. So he said, when I went London for the study, and I have seen like that the importance of the education, especially in the English language. So he was comparing his education level that time and the village situation, and he was saying that there is no education in my area. So what should I do to educate my people in the Sultanpur? So he thought that opening a school in English medium will be the best option. So that's why he came with the idea to open a school in English medium in that
Mhm.
village area. So he
There was no English medium school available in the area, right, at that time?
no any school there was in that time.
No
And
school at all, nothing.
the school was there, but not English medium. There
Not
was
English medium, that's right. Yeah.
and I am very happy to and just let you all know that still we are serving very wonderfully English medium school there, because in India different part you might be heard the English medium school, but actually the medium is not English, but we are
Hmm.
to the Lord and our teachers, principal, that they are serving in English medium.
Real English medium. That means they really learn to talk English just as good as you talk English.
Yeah.
Shivam, you're amazing. You never had any real proper English language teaching either. I remember helping you learn English long back,
I,
right?
I I think that time was a Sashi wedding. So I and you get to talk that evening. So I thought, why do not? It's a better time to. Here is the one, the lady. She's from America. It's good time to learn some English.
Learn some.
So
Woo!
it was happening. I was keep asking you question. What? How to say this? What is the meaning of that English word? So thank you. I think you was that time me one. That time for me you was the one model, so I can learn and I can change. And I remember in when the St. John's was going to open, that time my English was maybe like your Hindi.
Like my Hindi, that's pretty bad. Yeah, that's great. That's what I remember, Shivam. But you are mostly self-taught. That's when you started the school. You learned English so well, and we're just really proud of you. Even because you didn't have any proper background in English, but then you caught up when you were put into that place of leadership, and not only in your English, but in your walk with the Lord, and how you just blossomed, and it's just been such a joy watching you and being a part of St. John's School. So it's beautiful. Yeah, Sashi. Speaking of English medium schools, now go ahead and tell us a little. We'll come back. We've got some pictures here. I could have been showing some of St. John's, but we'll come back to some pictures next time Shivam comes on to talk. And Sashi, would you like to tell us now about Blue Haven School and how Blue Haven started?
Okay, sir. Blue Heaven is also in a rural area. It is a 40 kilometer far from the Lucknow, and there's a lot of English medium school, but they are not actually English medium. They're not providing the good education.
Also, not proper English medium. Yeah.
They are English medium, but they are fully like a Hindi medium kind of.
Yeah.
Parents are not satisfied about that, so the parents want English medium school. So with the Alok Srivastav, director of WIN, visited there. His dream was to open an English medium, proper English medium school in that place. So he just opened that school there, and we are giving a good school, good education there, and we have a good teachers there, and we have quality teachers from the north state, and we have a large building, and we have a good playground, and we have lot kind of facilities. And parents are very satisfied about that.
That's great. Yes. And Blue Haven has an amazing. I have been really involved with developing the funding for Blue Haven School for many years. We have battled, and Sashi actually got to come into this after the battle. After a lot of the battle was over, I know you still face a lot of struggle, but Shivam is smiling because he knows the battle we went through for Blue Haven School. He had it, I mean, but primarily just because of how expensive it was, first of all, and just many things. For example, when Alok and Ricky identified the property and overknew as WIN, at that time we were called Tel Asia, we raised the funds, and I'm just battling and battling and battling to get the funds raised, because this was just the property for this thing was $200,000. Okay. And so I finally praise God for a wonderful man and husband and wife, business people that funded that land purchase. But then as soon as we got the land, because some of the radicals, anti-Christians, because we're Christians, and so we're going to put up a Christian school. And this school is going to teach the best quality English, and the best quality overall education, but we're going to teach the children based on biblical principles. And they might learn Bible verses such as thou shalt not kill. They might learn Bible verses such as love thy neighbor as thyself. Okay, these are very important to put a foundation in these children. And so the radicals, and Shivam, if you remember some of this, and Pinsu's back there, if he wants to jump in, he can. The history of Blue Haven is just crazy because the radicals, well, there was two times. First, they tried to oppose us purchasing the land, and because they found out we were Christian, and then the villagers surrounded them and said, "No, you have to let them buy this land because we want a Christian school in our community because we know our kids are going to get a good education." Shouldn't you remember that incident? A little bit, yeah. You're out there in the other village with working with your school, and we worked together. So Shivam knew a little bit.
Because I was keep going here and there also, so I was there, so I know
You were helping with the legalities, I think, right?
little bit. Just
A little
I
bit,
know.
yeah. Okay. But so we were so thankful then when the villagers stood up on behalf of Blue Haven School and we were able to buy the land. But before that, somebody else came and offered them double the price that we had offered, trying to buy it out from under us. And again, the people said, "No, we're not going to let you buy this land because it's already been promised to a school and they're going to give us good education." So we're really thankful for the community that enabled us to get this very prime property in the outskirts of the city of 3.5 million called Lucknow. I'm sorry, Sashi. Go ahead. Tell us more about Blue Haven School, and then we'll come back to Shivam. Go ahead and tell us about what your role is, and then Ricky has been real instrumental in building up the school the first couple years. We got another big grant of $200,000 to build the part of the building. Now, where do you come in, Sashi? How does your role now?
Sister, I just joined the school in 2018 as a principal there, and
That's right.
after that I joined. I just look it out all the curriculum and all, and I just talk about the teachers to give the good education to the student, and I just give little provide them good training to the teachers,
Mm.
and I just if the children is weak in some subjects, I identify them and just talk to the teachers. We just focus on that student to give the good
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah, you're focusing on helping the students. The principal has a very important role. How many teachers do you have?
We have sister 10 teachers.
10 teachers. Wow, good. And how now? Let's go back to Shivam, and I'll show some pictures of St. John's, and you can both talk. You don't have to wait for one and the other, but you can both tell us. We really want to know how has COVID shutdown affected your schools, and how has that affected St. John's?
Um, well, pandemic situations now, not only the St. John's, I think everybody is facing, or especially since I'm working with the St. John's, so I can tell about the St. John's
Yeah,
situation.
you tell about St. John's. Yeah.
So, completely, it's completely, you can say, shut down. The school's doors are open, but the children are not coming to the school, and not even any fees are coming because most of the parents, since the school is in the rural area, so parents thinking that, oh, this session is gone because there is no regular classes, no physical classes, so they're not even taking attention to the children to if whether they are taking online classes or not. Even in this situation, in the COVID situation, we are providing them classes through online. The teachers is preparing their topics, and through the WhatsApps, they are sending voice recordings, they are sending
Okay.
video, they are means the material for the teaching the children. And I won't say like the every child is not doing that, but like I see like 40% students they're responding on the online classes and 60% children are not responding in the online classes. But
Okay, 40% are able to relate with the online and they're doing their lessons, and 60% are not doing their lessons with the online system, right?
and 98% not paying their fees and nothing.
90% not paying the fees. Oh no. Oh boy.
So
Oh
like
man.
only like 8 to 2% the children are there paying fees, but they also paid like 1 month fees only. So already six
Oh
months, but they paid
man.
fees.
Oh
So
man. And then here's what I understood is the government is still forcing you to keep paying the teachers' salaries, right?
yes, that we must pay to the teachers. But I'm so thankful to the St. John's staff. They are understanding the situation, so they're not demanding me to pay everything right now. They're saying, "Sir, whenever you come, pay little,
Yeah.
little, little." So like their basic needs. So I'm trying to get some funds. I contacted two person in the my friends that if you can support, but I didn't heard anything yet. So let's
Mm,
see if they're going to pay some salary.
okay.
I don't know, but like really we are suffering the crisis of the
Yeah,
financial.
yeah. No, Shivam, have now we issued COVID relief, some COVID relief money, $2,000 each to Blue Haven and to World Changer. So we're issuing you $2,000 also. Will that help out?
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes, yes. We want to help out St. John's too, because you're all in the same boat. So, okay, good.
Good,
Great.
great.
Okay, good. And Sashi, how about Blue Haven? How has the COVID affected Blue Haven?
the situation is the same. Is lots of effect on the education and is effect on the admission also. We did not get any admission in this year.
Oh man. Wow.
We was expecting a lot. We did hard work last year. We get a lot of admission this year, sister. We did not get even a single admission this year. So this is bad news for us, for our school. And we are, and COVID also affected on the finance of the school. Actually, there are not very much good people in a finance condition, and they're not sending. Actually, they don't want to submit the fees. They are taking back to their children. Even they are not joining. They're not joining the online classes for the students. They are taking back.
Oh yeah.
They're taking.
Hmm.
We are calling them to just join the online classes, because of the fees, they are taking them away. So we are, because of the fees, even we are not, they did not give the 1 year fee sister. So
Hmm.
hard situation for us, and we have
Yeah.
to give the salary to the teachers and the staff. Staff is asking again and again to the salary to come us, but we are telling them we'll give some kind of assurance like that.
Hmm.
Very difficult time for.
Yeah. Is it possible for them? The reason they're not joining is because of the COVID, right? That they're fearful of the COVID situation.
Actually, sister, they are telling they don't have Android mobile.
They don't have what?
Android mobile, sister. Because if they join the online classes, they have smartphone.
So
Smartphone.
like basically
Okay. Oh, they can't join the online without a smartphone. Yeah.
we
They
are
can't join. They
uh,
don't have the network problem. They're giving the lot of issues and lot of reasons. But the
Yeah.
main what I'm saying, they don't want to pay the fee.
Main thing they want to. Well, where are they going to send their kids to be educated? This other good schools in the same problem, right?
Yeah, even I told to my teachers to call even to each parent to tell them the importance of the education, the online education. They are calling to them, but they are not
Mm.
listening. They are telling this year will not take education. After that, we'll see. Will come or not. So we are losing somewhere students.
Yeah, that's tough. That's funny. They have the phone in the village to get online, and in the city they're not willing to get online to go to online class, huh?
Doing very hard work for giving online education to the student. They are providing education through WhatsApp, and they are sending videos. They are making videos, voice passage,
Mm.
some
Wow, the
chapter,
teachers are doing all that work to help them to have online classes, right?
some assignments like that, and all the things they are doing, sister. But responsibility,
Yeah.
only one or two students are there involved in the online classes. Teacher is also not.
Wow. Well, Shivam, let's talk about this. Now, you have how many of your students are attending the online classes?
So in my place, like since the school is the up to high school, so it's affiliated with the ICSC. So since that's a higher students there, so we have like 40% of the students they are attending online classes, but
How
sometimes
many are attending?
40%. I think 40%.
40% attending online classes. Okay.
Yeah, in Sultanpur, that my place, and St. John's.
Okay.
But it's still we hear issues like in a one family if like three children. So that's why we in the beginning we heard the complaint that sir we have only one mobile phone. So now we divided the school in the three sets, three times, and three sets. So like morning 9
Okay.
from the nursery to the grade 5, and then after 11 to 2 there will be classes for the 6 to grade 10.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's
So
why.
that they can use one mobile phone and then they can share the phone between students. That's really good.
Yes. And it's still, but beside that, we have the problem of the data connection, network problem. So that's why we cannot conduct the live online classes. So that's why we choose
Okay.
WhatsApp. So whenever they download, they can watch and they can work and they can submit their projects to the WhatsApp. And we also started taking online tests through the Google form. Thanks to Google, that's providing
Yeah, good.
can
Oh, you
take.
can tell me how to get Google Forms to work then. I'm still trying to figure that out. So, yeah. Good.
It's it's very easy. Uh, Go to the Google form and they, you can just
That's right. I think I got it going. But no, that's so good. You're using all that technology, Shivam. Well, could I ask you to talk after we're done with this program? Would you sit with Sashi and let's talk about what is the difference and how can we get? Is it just the difference that your school is older? So we started St. John's School in what was the year? 2000 and
9.
2009. Okay, and Blue Haven School has only started in 2016, 17, I think. So Blue Haven is very young school, just starting out, whereas St. John's has been there for some number of years. Also, St. John's has almost no competition. There's hardly any goods. It's out in the rural area, very remote area. In fact, the first time I went to visit St. John's School, I'll never forget it. There was a tree in the middle of the road. We there was literally no road. Well, I think that was all Oaks Village actually, right? And we had to come. We had to walk past the to go past the tree. We had to walk. The car couldn't go, and so it's very remote villages where St. John's is. Whereas what we're dealing with to start Blue Haven School, it's in the edge of the big city. Lots of other schools are out there. Sashi, I wonder how the other schools are doing. Anyway, probably having the same problems, but we are not yet IC board. That means we're still the beginner board, the UP local board, whereas Shivam's school has attained the higher accreditation. And that's, by the way, this is why we're trying to build our top floor, second level on Blue Haven School. Then we can get IC board accreditation. So that's going to help us out, isn't it, Sashi?
ICSC board system.
ICSC.
I see. I never can say the whole thing, so I just say I see. we, we've got I see several other things going on in our. team. Okay, well, thank you for both sharing, what is going on. And that's really challenging, Sassy. You're in a tough situation there, but let's work together and let's talk with Shivam and let's see how maybe we can jumpstart them. Maybe it
Yeah.
will take visiting some of the homes and showing them how to log on, if they're really simple illiterate people. Maybe they need to learn how to log on and they're not comfortable. Once you show them, maybe you can take a class and show them, but then you have to get them to log on to that or come to it. So you might have to go to their homes maybe and get them started. I don't know. What do you think? The biggest problem for us is nobody's paying the fees. So, right? Both of you, they're not paying the 40. No, what did you say, Shivam? Only 2% paying the fees. So no income. Tough time. And we have to pray that people will start to pay the fees. So yeah, that would be good. Okay, so very good discussion. Let's see. Well, now one of my questions, what are your goals for your school this year, is obviously we'd like some students. And we don't know what's the next plan in India with COVID. Is the people are afraid to send their kids because they've made the politicians and all have made COVID look like such a terrible thing. For children, they don't hardly even get it. There have been, I think, 0 deaths by children. Children of 0 deaths of COVID. They hardly even get sick, right? And so, why is not the government finding ways to let you open your schools? The schools in the U.S. are open properly. I mean, people coming to the class. Why are they not opening it up?
Uh, I think in the beginning they showed the very big, like Corona is like a very big devil. So
Mm-hmm.
they like that. So somehow I think the people of the India they're scared. Even I think if the school is going to be open, they are not willing to send their children to the school for the physical classes
Mm.
because even if not affecting to the children, but if it does affect to the elders, like old above who is above 30 years. So if they infected, so they scare that that will go to the children,
Get to them. Okay, yeah, that's right.
their family member if it is going to. But the thing is, the main thing is that in the beginning they showed very big.
Big
Corona
issue.
is very big, and now government is planning to open the school. So, but it's keep postponing. Earlier it
Yeah.
was going to start in the September, but again
Yeah.
postponed. Now in the date 1st October they release another government order, GO, that is going to be with so many restrictions, so many guidelines. Under that, they are going to start from the 15th October, which we don't know because they said still there will be the state government decision. So they have to, state government has to take the decision whether they want to open the schools,
Mm.
colleges.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
in the beginning, they're planning to open only from the ninth standard to 10th standard, to 12th only, not below, not primary.
Oh, okay. Pincher told me that. Yeah. Wow. And that cuts out Blue Haven because we're not up there yet. And that's only one
Yeah,
class for you, right? You got 10 through 12 now, right, June? Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Um, just one, I would find this picture. I want to show one picture about St. John's here. Oh, that's Blue Haven. Here we go. St. John's. Remember that picture, Shivam? I really enjoyed that time. Okay, where is that? Okay, this is just the reason we named St. John's Convent. Some folks might think we're Catholics,
Yeah.
but the reason we named it convent is because in the village they don't understand the difference between. Oops, where'd my thing go? Between the different types of Christian. And so they say when the Hindus in the surrounding village they see convent, all they know is, oh, well, that's Christian school, and that's a really good school. That's really good quality school. And they see saint something and convent, and we really honor the Catholics because for many years ago from the British time even, they had built up a reputation of excellence in education. And so when we founded St. John's was our very first school, And I was very, very smart of Alok, wasn't it, Shivam, to name it Saint and Convent. Because then all the Hindus and all the Buddhists and all whoever else out there, oh, good school, let's send our kids to St. John's Convent. And even though we're not Catholic in that sense, but it was a good marketing, and it just lived up to its name because you, Shivam, and your team are offering excellent education. So that's really cool. And let's talk a little bit about the situation overall in India for illiteracy and education. So you're in the Ganges River region, along the northern part of India. And this region actually is known for some of the worst statistics in education. In fact, I remember a statistic that says that though children are going to school, after 5 years of schooling, almost 50% of them still cannot read or write. This is in general, a statistic for India. And this, not just, I think this is primarily for the northern part, but maybe whole India. 5 years of schooling, like 51% of them still cannot read or write. And so that's pretty bad. That's like illiterate, 50% illiterate, even though they're going to school. So tell us about what is that situation? Why are children going to school and still not really receiving an education?
I think the big reason is this: they're going to school and not getting that quality education. Because I see the many government school. They're government school, and most of the population they go to the government school because the government provide them a meal, one day meal. So that's why they go to there. And sometimes they go
Oh,
to
they get a meal. Okay.
most of the children in the village, that population they go because they will get one meal there. So sometimes uh, they're not able to afford. That's why they go to that private, that government school. So what happened? The teachers there are highly salaried, and they're getting lots of money. But the problem is with them; they're not dedicated to the children because most children from the poor background. So my job is to just teach on the blackboard. They're just trying to input, but they are not really focusing whether they are getting outputs or no. So that's why those children are good. They are going only into private school. Still, some government schools are good. Only few. If in an area there is a 20 school, then I will say that yeah, one or two schools is good where the children is able to the write and read in their language, yeah, whatever they're learning. So I
What
think
does it mean by the school is not good? What is that? What does that actually mean?
the school is not good. I mean, not because of the building, but like dedication of the teacher. Even though they
Yeah.
are going to teach or no, they will get their salary. And also, I see sometimes in my place, I see the teachers is going for the training. Teachers are going for the calculation of the population. They involved to for um, teachers for the election
Duty.
commission, election duties they go. So I think that's how sometimes it's lacking, and lack of inspection in the private, the government school. And the main thing is the parents, because they really don't care their children whether
Mm,
they're studying or no. I think it's not about only the teachers of the government school, but also mostly the because of the parents. The children going to the they don't know whether they are going or
yeah.
no. The children, what they're studying in the school, they don't. We have mentality if there is going government school, so like they registered, so my child is studying in the government school.
It's just
That's
like namesake. Okay, my child is in school. That's all that matters. And they
yeah,
don't realize that it's important how good they do in the classes and that they understand the material and that they can really actually learning something, right?
yeah, yeah. So
And
mostly
that's
it's
because the parents are illiterate and they don't understand what education is themselves.
the value of the education, how the education changed their life. I have one example. So I know one of my friends. He is a government is a teacher in the government school, but he's not government employee. He's a contract basis, and he was really suffering with the financially. But he managed to for his son for the engineering. So his son is last year, just year back, he graduated, and and his father don't have money to support their other child to for the good education. But the son, after finishing his engineering graduation, he is working now TCS, which is the Tata government's organization, not it's a private Tata company. So he's
Mhm.
working that company, and now the son is sponsoring uh, daughter education. So now his daughter is getting education in Lucknow city through the brother's income. So they don't know this value, how this can change the entire family financially situation and also like social situation. Now the son is educated and he is employed private. Of course, it's private, but it's still he is earning money, and now he's able to sponsor his sister for her further education.
Mhm.
That's the thing. The
Wow.
mostly I would say that parents is not really take caring of their child. They think sometime I heard them mocking in Hindi, "अरे पढ़ के क्या DM बन जाएंगे?" Means in English
Yeah.
is that if you study, then do you think you will be the collectorate or DM? So they mock their child like that. And
Wow.
sometimes when the child is about 14 years, they encourage. Now you go to work. Now you go to work. So you cannot. Like there's
Wow.
no
How
education.
can that be remedied? See, so if the parents would hold the school accountable to teach their kid well, then the schools couldn't get away with being lousy and they would have to teach well and it would self adjust. But because the parents don't hold the schools to a high standard, therefore they can get away with not teaching properly, right?
Yes, that's true. So it's up to the parents. Like if oh, tell me, Shivam, what you study today in the school? If I'm asking to my son like that, then he will think, oh, dad asking, what should I say? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I studied A for apple. Okay, good. And next day, if you keep asking like that, then only it's going to improve. Otherwise, because if you're not asking, then children don't have to pay attention. Now, next day, he will think, I should at least tell something to tell Papa what I studied in the school.
Mm-hmm.
Me, what you study. But he knows that the mother is not going to ask anything about what I studying, nothing. So the child, he go to school,
Mm.
then he the teachers, he listen, but he listens this year and pass away from it. So it's not
Wow. Yep. They have to, the parents are so important when it comes to education. If they're not supporting the child, how can we expect the child to learn? That's right. Um,
sometimes this situation and what I suggest to the parents. So, like I remember the 2 years back that the one lady came to me and she said, "Sir, I'm not literate. I study only grade 2 or 3 standard, and your all the books is in English. How can I'm going to be teach my child?" I,
mm,
that that you're not educated, that you don't any degree or any good education. So you use your weakness as your weapon. Just call your child. Okay, sir, so and so, you are going to school. I'm paying your fees. Tell me what you learned and let me speak what you learned today. So if he's saying in any language, definitely he's going to speak English. And I know it's going to bounce you, but at least we will hear whether he's able to say or no. If you keep saying,
mm,
I learned today A for apple and B for boy and C for cat and dog spelling DOG. It means he learned today something. And that way,
hey,
and also your child will think, oh, mama, keep asking and she knows everything. I cannot lie to her. But if you keep
mm,
saying, I'm literate, then he will use you, your weakness, and he will not study.
mm,
Yes, don't say it in front of your child.
right.
You are not, you don't know anything.
That's
And
right. Yeah. Let the child show that he knows something without showing the child that you don't know anything.
ask them, you
Yeah.
who? I'm not going to tell you. Just play.
That's
Right.
right. That's right. That's good. Yeah. So I can see, Shivam, you've been coaching them. You've been
Yeah.
coaching the parents that way. Yeah. That's good.
I part of the managing school. I am doing counseling for the children also and for the parents also. Often the children cases comes to me, principal transfer to me, and I call first. I talk to the children. What's your problem? What's you facing? And then I see the like what the child's fear. If like childs don't want to let the parents know, then I do I don't tell the parents that oh, but I want to make sure that the child is promising me also that he will change, and I keep tracking whether he's changing or no. And when I see the change come, I just encourage and I just call again and I just greet them. Yeah, you're doing good, and can you tell by yourself whether you're improving or no? And just I give them key to evaluate himself or herself how before and after. Right. So
Good. Yes. He's you're doing a lot. You use a lot of wisdom and coaching them. Very good. Yes. Excellent. Can I, Shashi, would you tell us the story, one child story? One child from, think about last year's, okay, when you had some students coming. We'd like to hear just the story of one of your kids in the school.
Um, Actually, there was a one student named Muskan Rawat. She came in a class fifth, and when she came, she was not very poor in speaking skills. She was not able to speak in a English even in a single word.
Mhm.
And when she came, we saw her, but when we observed her, we just find it she have the capability. And she just started to encourage her. And the teachers also did hard work, and she just learned, and after that she learning. After that, she started to making little small sentences. And this time she is giving to speech sister in a program
Wow. Good.
saying that we are very, feeling the proud on her. She, in a next 15 or 6 January, she's used to give the speeches, the motivational program. That's why she's, it's very proud moment for her to see the very good skills. She got very good skills in this.
Wow, good. So beautiful to see how so many, I know that's the fact of so many kids join our schools
Yeah,
and totally illiterate. They're way behind in their classes, they're illiterate or they can't speak anything properly. They
yeah,
don't know any English at all. They know how to speak Hindi, but they don't know reading, writing, anything in Hindi. Then they never heard English before.
yeah.
And like, how long, Sashi, is it usually with our children, since you've been there in our Blue Haven, when the classes are running normally? When a child comes to join the school and doesn't is basically cannot read, I'm talking about Hindi, most Hindi, English doesn't matter. Okay, illiterate, right? How long before that child can start reading?
Sorry, I did not get your point, sister.
How long is it that when the child is in the school or joins the school and cannot read, how long before you have taught that child to read? How many months or years or whatever?
Okay, okay. Sister, when the student will come, he will, he don't know anything. Our teachers start concentrating on the students and they are teaching them. And even maybe, I think so, maybe 3 and 4 months it will take to speak them a little bit. And after that,
Oh,
they,
okay, wait. 3 or 4 months before then they're speaking. That's only 3 or 4 months it takes you to teach them to start speaking some English.
not speaking, not, I'm talking about the small, big kids, sister.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
Small sentences. Even they are making the small sentences. After that,
Good. Wow, that's excellent. So that's how about reading, or what about reading and writing in Hindi? How long does it take them to start that?
In the reading or in listening to my speaking.
And Shivam can say also in his school, how long does it take?
Actually, so it's a depend on the child. So like every
Yeah.
child has different skills, we know that, and so basically like when the child come, if it is like in the pre-nursery, then it took for them to learn reading and writing took like 2, 3, 4 months sometimes, depend on the child. And but like in case sometimes we get admission and the children coming from the Hindi medium to the English medium in the greater standard like four, five,
Okay.
six, seven. So in that situation, sometimes the children they take in a year. They just it took for them 2 years to adjust one session complete with the English medium because they came from the Hindi background, Hindi medium background. So it took 1 year to adjust them with the English medium student. But for the beginners, it's take like 2 to 3 months,
Mhm.
4 months. Are you there? Hello. When child from school, we don't know. So that's why we take the test. And the
And judge
criteria
them.
for test is to know better about the child in which section is weak. So we don't take test because that whether child is exists in this class or no, but we take test to know
The ability.
that a child in which subject, yeah, in which area is weak. So while we're taking after the test, we give some remarks on the test paper and we send that to the class teacher or subject teacher that see this child is newly admitted and he need to be more focused in the mathematics this sections, English in this section and the science in this section. And that's help to the teacher to know about the child when the child comes, and that's help to the children also where he have to improve. So
Wow,
it's
that's great.
depend on that.
You're
I
doing
think
really good. Yeah. So, but yeah, I heard you say something like it just takes a few months for you
yeah,
to actually get a child reading and writing, basically, in general. What's average?
just it's like it's depend on the in which grade he is. So grade
Sure.
as a child
Ability.
and like
Sure.
child. So if
Yeah.
he's coming from the pre-nursery, then it will take 3 months to learn
To
them.
write.
But they learn very quickly rhymes and
Rhymes and
tunes and music way. But
Hmm.
hard for them to
write.
it takes like 2 months to recognize them all the alphabets, which is that in especially in our place. But if it is like higher classes, then definitely they're more easy to pick up. And if they're from
Yeah.
the Hindi medium background, then in the beginning it's very difficult for them. Last year, that one girl came to our school and she 1 month and we were all the teachers were working very hard for her, but she was completely Hindi background, Hindi medium background. She couldn't survive in the classroom atmosphere and say to father that I'm not capable to learn English. But because she was in grade 8, so she quit the school because she was
Oh,
not.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
So some of them, they have so little background in English at all. But lots of them come that way, but they catch up and they catch on. So,
I
yeah.
have
Shivam. Hmm.
one story this, and rest of them they are surviving because they have willing power to do that, and they want to change in their life. So
Yeah.
they do that, and they are doing very good.
That's
And
good. Yeah. No, so many are. There's always going to have a few that don't make it, but yeah.
in school sister, some they are
Yeah.
learning fast, and some they took 1 year. Even they, they could not write.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
In 1 year they catch up, then they're able to write. See, compared to what I want to make the point here is
they,
the national average is basically half of the children in all the other schools, all the schools combined, are learning to read in 5 years. But in our school, in your schools, they're learning to read in 3 months to 1 year. Let's just say, basically, right?
Yes,
Average.
yes.
That's really good. Excellent. Yeah, go ahead, Shashi.
I speak out this too.
Good. So, Shivam, you want to tell a quick story, one child in your school, and then we'll wrap it up here by talking about what's the next step for Blue Haven School. We'll just go into that. I have some pictures to share, but
Uh,
Shivam, you want to tell us one touching story, if you would like to, of your one of your children.
sure. The one child that I was taking interview of one parent, and that she came to me and she said, "My son, I have a son, and he's mentally not fit." So, I don't know how to say. I don't want to say anything about the child that uh, don't want to make him disappointed. This child, but
Sure.
this child was not able to even sit properly. He was like always this and
Hmm.
this and
Yeah. Sure. Mhm.
always like uh, so like that. So she said, "Sir, I want to get admission my child in your school." So I said, "What's the problem? Go get the form." And he said, "No, sir, there's some problem. That's why I came to you." I said, "Okay, tell me." And she said, "Sir, my son has these problems, and I have taken that child to one school before, and they refused to take admission because he's not
Yeah.
uh, fit." So I said, "Where is the child?" And she said, "He's home." I said, "Get him tomorrow, no problem." And the
Hmm.
next, very excitedly, I saw that woman came to my office and she says, "He's my son." Okay. So I said, "What's your name?" And he was really don't want to respond me and he was shy. And then I said, "Hi, what is your name?" And then I spoke in Hindi. Definitely my conversation was in Hindi with that guy. And
Hmm.
then uh, he smiled a little bit and he said, "Ujjwal." His name is Ujjwal. That means bright in English.
Oh. Hmm.
So then I said, "No problem, ma'am. We will take care of that child. You get back in the school, and there will be no problem because of there will be. It's my completely responsibility. He will be never abused in the school by children and by the class. Since 4 years, he's doing very good. He's learning good.
Wow.
Still, one thing is that often he will stand up and he will roam inside the classroom,
Oh.
but and in the beginning, like last year, I heard that the child started avoiding him. Nobody wanted to sit in the classroom.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
So the teachers complained me, "Sir, I'm facing this problem." And I said, "Okay." And I went in the classroom and I said, "Teacher, can you take Pinchul for a round in the campus?" And he said, "Okay, sir." And then entire classroom was there. And I said, "Hi, children, how are you?" And they're doing good, sir. Yes, sir. TK, बढ़िया, good. I said, "Okay, tell me, hey, what do you feel about Ujjwal? How is he?" "Arey, sir, he's like that." And so many children raising his complaint. He come to me, he take away my notebooks, this and that, all the complaints. Okay, okay. I was listening patiently and smiling. And then I said, "Can you tell me if he actually is your real sister or brother? What are you going to decide? Are you going to still avoid him?" And
Mm.
English. They were last in class in the three grade. But silence, there was silence. And I said, "Kuchu needs your love. He needs your attention from you. He needs your care because he's
Mm.
classmate and you people." And then the first boy said, "Sir, I will sit with him." And now entire class, like last year, this year we didn't see any child in the classroom. So last year everybody started playing with him and he is enjoying
Wow, it's beautiful.
smile in his face. And the teachers also they give lots of care about that child, and he's doing good. And I think this year he's promoted for the grade four.
Woo! Yay! That's great. Awesome. And that brings us right full circle to, in the very beginning, I said, as a Christian school, children will be learning Bible verses, right? And one
Yes.
of the Bible verses that would certainly be taught and that I shared was, do to others what you would have them do to you. I think I told that one, right? And isn't that exactly that story, Shivam and Shashi, what you just did with that boy? You went to the other students and you said, what if this child was your little brother? And would you still treat him this way, right?
Yes.
And so then the children thought, oh no, if he was my brother, I would treat him better, right? And that broke down that barrier and helped them to treat him like they would want themselves to be treated, with love, with compassion, with understanding, with patience. So very
That
good, excellent.
you really lots of joy and like that remind me to the Jesus or the one word from the Bible: "Do not stop children coming to me."
Yeah.
So I
Wow, yes.
always
Let the little children come to me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven.
yes, yes. So when I
Yes.
go to school, that verse come to me, and it's like a daily bread.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
enjoy that.
And you know, the greatest thing that we can do in this life, and this is the Lord spoke this to me years ago, the greatest thing that a person can do in this life is to give Jesus and a bright future to a child who otherwise would have no hope. And education is the best way, it is the most sure way to give a bright future to a child. And Sashi and Shivam, and also our school in Varanasi, they're all doing a great job of doing that. At the very ending here, I want to just show a little bit of the where we're at with Blue Haven School. I mentioned that we need to get the top floor built. Okay, let me share this here. And oh, that's a cute picture, isn't it? Really
Right.
cute. Blue Haven School. The reason, probably part of the reason. Now, what you're seeing here is the top floors. Where's my other picture here? Oh, where's my picture? There it is. Okay. So here's where we're at with Blue Haven School. This is one of the reasons we're struggling with our kids just abandoning because of COVID and not coming on the online classes, partly because we don't have this second level built. Right, Sashi?
Yes, yes, sister.
And so once we have the second floor built and finished, we will be able to get what's called ICSC board approval. Is that right, Shivam?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I say it right? I never say it right. Um, and that is going to really upgrade the whole school. And so this is a big prayer request. This is a request for people to stand with support financially, whatever, to help us finish this second level. And so I think it's up more than what it is in this picture, right, Sashi?
Yes, sister.
Do we have the walls up now pretty much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the walls are up. All we need is the roof, right?
I think the roof is also
Roof
just
is also, sister,
done.
Going
done.
on. Okay, so here's done. Roof
I
is
think
done.
Going on,
going
sister. Is
on.
Going
going on.
on. Woo! Yay! Okay. So this is a picture of the roof going on, and then you can see this is a solid building. This is all concrete and steel and brick, and this is the roof going on one of the blocks of classrooms. So now our roof is going on a second block of classrooms, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yay! That's so awesome. And so, but that's not the end. Okay. Once
yeah.
that's done, then we need to, you see the bottom level, how it's pretty, it's white, it's painted, it's colorful, it's got windows in it. If you were to go inside, you would see beautiful marble floors. Let's see our floors. Floor? Do we have a floor? Oh, there's a floor. Well, that's unfinished floor. That one still doesn't have the marble, but we're using it anyway. Um, but there's a lot of finishing that has to go on. Then we need lights, we need electrical wiring, we need blackboards and desks and everything. So this is a really strategic opportunity for folks to jump on board and help us get Blue Haven School up to par where it can get the ICS board recognition and accreditation, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's something that we're praying for and believing for. So, anything else either of you would like to share in the end here as we're getting ready to close today?
My goal, St. John's, and we are praying for to get another step of the affiliation. And
Ooh.
so, like, here is the affiliation. First, you have to get the state, and then you have to get this NOC, no objection certificate from the state government, and then you can apply whether for the CBSC or ICSC board. ICSC board is a international board. They have international curriculum. So we are following that, and we are affiliated with that ICSC level. ICSC level is stand for like the grade 9th and 10th, and for the 11th and 12th grade, which is called college also. So for that, we need get affiliation again with them. So
Wow. Okay.
ISC, and so I'm trying to get. I'm working on it to get that
Hmm.
IS affiliation with that. So my goal of this year to St. John's affiliated with the ICSC.
Wow. Awesome. Excellent. Yes. Wow, that's great. And oh, Janet Thompson is on. Yay. Hi, Janet. She has contributed very sacrificially to Blue Haven. And so we appreciate her being on. Well, thank you both for being with us today. This has really been fun. And I just, kind of recap a couple of the high points, I think. What can you take away from this? What can you learn? Number one, if you're watching this from India or a developing nation, look at how important it is to value education. If you are not encouraging your child to study, if you're just letting the child go to school and going about your job and your work, no, you have to give interest in the child and help and encourage, even if you aren't very literate or very educated, that's okay. Like Shivam said, ask your child, what did you learn today? Show interest in what they're learning and let them tell you what they're learning. And that way you look like you know what you're talking about, and you don't need to you don't have to let on that you don't know this algebra they're telling to you. He might be telling you all, wow, algebra that he learned, and great, wow, that sounds good to me. And so, but encourage the children to learn. And for those of us in the developed nations that are interested in helping nations come out of poverty and helping families come out of poverty, even in the inner city and so many places in our developed nations, even are undeveloped, and are needing to discover the value of education. And so this is one of the most important ways that we can engage in transforming the world. One of the greatest ways we can help people to win at life.
Yes.
One of the greatest ways that we can create a win-win in the world is by educating a child. Maybe you need to financially support a child that they can't afford to go. Maybe you want to support WIN and help us to educate children and to prepare and develop these self-sustaining schools that are providing a top quality education to children who are just at that cusp where their parents lived in poverty, but now this child is getting an education and can stop the vicious circle of poverty for the next generations. And
Yes.
so when you invest in WIN, that's what you're doing, is you're enabling children to go to schools like St. John's Convent and Blue Haven School and World Changers School. You are enabling us to develop schools like this that are changing the lives of children. Thank you so much. Go ahead
Thank
and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber on We Ignite Nations yet, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Yes, sister. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for
Hey,
giving me sister.
Okay,
thank
back.
you. Yes.